अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादां सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णदेवप्रजापते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने नमोऽस्तुते हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकाकान्तराधाकान्तविनश्नुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नीलाचलनिवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्रविभुजगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So in chapter 10 Krishna will explain about his opulences. In the 9th chapter last verse Krishna has spoke about the process of Krishna consciousness, which is the essence of Gita. मन्मनाभव मद्भक्तो मज्जाजी माम नमस्कुरु माम एवैष्यसि युक्तैवम आत्मनां मत्परायण. Always think of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances unto me, worship me. So this is the instruction of Krishna. Now to always remember Krishna, Krishna will describe something in this chapter, like Krishna will describe his opulences. So if we know the opulences of Krishna, it is easier to remember Krishna all the time. So that thing will be explained in this chapter. So in verse number 1 to 7, knowing that Krishna is unknowable, this is described, and Krishna is source of everything. Then 8 to 11 comes Chatusloki Gita, the whole Gita summarized into 4 verses, that is called Chatusloki. We will describe that. After hearing this Chatusloki Gita and Krishna's supremacy is confirmed to Arjuna, Arjuna admits that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the first chapter, Arjuna was behaving with Krishna like a friend. Senaya Ruvayar Madhya Ratham Sthapayam Achyuta. Oh Krishna, please take my chariot in between two armies. So Arjuna is behaving like a friend. But here Arjuna is confirmed that Krishna is not an ordinary friend. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then Arjuna wants to know about opulences of Krishna, and from 19 to 42, Krishna will describe his different vibhutis or opulences. So let us begin. Chapter 10 verse number 1. Shri Bhagavanuvāca Bhuya eva mahabaho shinu me paramam vacha yatteham priyamanaya vakshyami hitakamyaya. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, listen again, O mighty armed Arjuna, because you are my dear friend. For your benefit I shall speak to you further, giving knowledge that is better than what I have already explained. So Krishna is saying, what I have already explained, I will give you better knowledge. Because I have already explained you about your devotional service, and I have also explained about what are the instructions. Always think of me, become my devotee. In this chapter I will give you the way in which you can always follow those instructions. That means I will explain my vibhutis. So our Acharya Baladev Vidyabhushan says that when we know the glory of some person, it is easier to surrender unto that person. So the essence of Gita is that surrender unto Krishna. And in this chapter, 10th chapter, Krishna is giving us something which will help us to surrender unto Krishna. So therefore, this is the highest form of knowledge. Second sloka. न मे विदु सुरगना प्रभवं नाम हर्षया अहम आदिर्हि देवानां महर्षीणां च सर्वशः. Neither the host of demigods nor the great sages know my origin or opulences, for in every respect I am the source of demigods and sages. So even demigods and sages also cannot know Krishna. Okay. So Krishna is unknowable. Nobody can know about glories of Krishna. Do you remember some incidents where it is proven that the demigods cannot know Krishna? Demigods are bewildered. Any cases? Do you remember from Shastra?
Brahma,
Yes, Srinivas Prabhu?
Brahma will be confused. Brahma Vimochan Lila.
Yeah, Brahma Bimochan, not Bimochan, Bimohan.
Vimohan Lila.
Yeah. So Brahma was bewildered. In Govardhan Lila, Indra was bewildered. So like that. And different sages also like Vishwamitra and all, they become captivated by the illusory potency of the Lord. Saubhari Muni, they also become lusty in some point and fell down. So it happens. Great demigods and sages also cannot know Krishna. व्योमम् अजम् अनादिं च वेत्ति लोकमहेश्वरम् असम्मूढसमर्थ्येषु सर्वपापैः प्रमुच्यते. He who knows me as the unborn, as the beginningless, as the supreme lord of all the worlds, he only, undeluded among men, is freed from all sins. Although Krishna is unknowable, still these basic informations we must have about Krishna. That Krishna is unborn, he is beginningless, he is the supreme personality of Godhead. And with this understanding, we engage in his devotional service, and that is glorious. If we are being engaged in Krishna's devotional service, that is glorious. And by performing devotional service, we can get liberated. So we cannot know Krishna in full, but at least we should know that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is the Param Bhagavan, Anadi Ananta, and we engage in his devotional service. So for a living entity like us, there is no point and there is no achievement in knowing Krishna. Somebody may think, okay, I cannot know Krishna, but I want to know Krishna. Somebody may aspire that I want to know Krishna in full, but that is not required. Why do you need to know Krishna in full? That is a audacity. You cannot know Krishna in full. The perfection of a living entity is that you know Krishna, he is the supreme person of Godhead, he is Anadi Ananta, and like that you know his glories and you engage in his devotional service. If you engage in his devotional service, that is the perfection. बुद्धिर्ज्ञानम् असम्मोहा क्षमा सत्यं दमाशम सुखं दुःखं भवो भावो ध्यायं च व्ययमेव च अहिंसा समता तुष्टिस्तपोदानं यशोजश भवन्ति भावभूतानं मत्त एव पृथग्विधा. Intelligence, knowledge, freedom from doubt and delusion, forgiveness, truthfulness, control of the senses, control of the mind, happiness, distress, birth, death, fear, fearlessness, non-violence, equanimity, satisfaction, austerity, charity, fame and infamy. All these various qualities of living beings are created by me alone. So Krishna is the absolute truth. All the qualities, good or bad, everything originates in Krishna. If something is not in Krishna, that cannot exist because Krishna is the absolute truth. So all the bad and good qualities are in Krishna. So now somebody may think that okay, some murderer is doing some crime, so that is also originated in Krishna, that propensity. So Krishna is responsible. The living entity is not responsible. Well, so we have to understand this thing that Krishna is beyond the three modes of material nature. He is in the transcendental platform. He is in the absolute platform. So first of all, we have to understand the difference between absolute and relative. This material world is full of duality. Sometimes happiness, sometimes distress, sometimes you get success, sometimes failure. So there are two ends. So in material world, some are good qualities, some are bad qualities. But in the stage of where Krishna belongs to, the absolute platform, there is no such distinction, there is no such duality. So yes, Krishna is the origin of all qualities, But in Krishna, in the absolute form, there is no such distinction good or bad. Let me give you an example. In material perspective, if you see, stealing something is bad and giving charity is good. But if you see from the perspective of Krishna, Krishna steals butter, that is super auspicious. Krishna is giving charity as a king in Dwarka, that is also super auspicious. Krishna is blessing some devotee like Dhruva Maharaj, that is auspicious. Krishna is killing Shishupal, that is also auspicious. Shishupal is getting liberated. So this is the nature of absolute platform where the distinction between good and bad vanishes. So yes, this is true that Krishna is the source of all qualities. But in Krishna, all those qualities are only auspicious. There is no distinction. There is no duality like good or bad. Krishna stealing, that is also auspicious. Krishna killing, that is also auspicious. But in this material world, duality exists. If we kill, that is not good. If we steal, that is not good. So Krishna belongs to another dimension. So we cannot judge in material way. महर्षया सप्तपूर्वे चत्वारो मनवस्तथा मद्भाव मनसा जाता येषम लोक इमा प्रजा. The seven great sages and before them the four other great sages and the Manus, the progenitors of mankind, come from me, born from my mind, and all the living beings populating various planets descend from them. So Krishna is the source of everything. From Krishna Brahma comes, and from Brahma different progenitors, Manus, all this come. एतं विभूतिं योगं च मम यो वेत्ति तत्त्वतः सो विकल्पेन योगेन युज्यते नत्र संशयः. One who is factually convinced of this opulence and mystic power of mind engages in unalloyed devotional service. So this is the perfection for us, and this is the reason why Krishna is explaining all these glories. The ultimate goal is that the living entity engages himself in the devotional service of the Lord. Of this there is no doubt. So by knowing all these opulences of Krishna and mystic power, we have to engage in his devotional service. That is the goal. Now we enter. So in verse number 1 to 7 we have seen that Krishna is unknowable even by the demigods and sages, and we have also seen that Krishna's Vibhuti, Krishna is the origin of everything. Now Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita is starting. 8, 9, 10, 11, these are the four seed verses of Bhagavad Gita which summarizes the whole Gita. Now Gita is the essence of all scriptures. Sarvopanishado Gavo Dugdha Gopala Nandana Vatsa Partha Sudhir Bhakta Dugdham Gita Mritam Mahat. It is explained in Gita Mahatmya that Gita is the essence of all Upanishads. Upanishads are the essence of all the Vedas. Gita is the essence of all Upanishads. So Gita is the essence of all scriptures. And in the essence of all scriptures can be classified into three topics, that is Sambandha, Avideya, Prayojan. Sambandha means my lost relationship with Krishna, reviving our lost relationship with Krishna, that is Sambandha. Avideya means by reviving the relationship we engage in his devotional service, that is Avideya. Prayojan means by practice of devotional service what ultimate goal we get, that is Krishna Prem. So Krishna Sambandha Bhakti Avideya Prem Prayojan. So Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, I am Spirit Soul, Krishna is infinite, I am infinitesimal, I am part and parcel of Krishna. So once we understand this, this is called Sambandha Gyan. Then we engage in his devotional service, that is Bhakti, Avideya. And by performance of Bhakti we get Krishna Prem, our lost treasure, that is Prayojan. So now in these four seed verses also this concept of Sambandha Avideya Prayojan is discussed. In verse number 8, in this verse we will see mixture of Sambandha and Avideya. In verse 9 we will see only Avideya. And 10, 11 we will see Prayojan. So let us see. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam prabhartate iti matva bhajante mam bodha bhava samannita. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. So Krishna is telling that I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is Sambandha Gyan. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this, knowing this Sambandha Gyan, what you should do? Engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. So this is Sambandha plus Abhideya. Know Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and engage in his devotional service. So this is a long chapter, so we are going a little fast, so be attentive. So this verse will tell about Abhideya, Bhakti, the procedure of Bhakti, discussing Krishna Katha amongst devotees. Macchitta madgata prana bodhayanta parashvaram kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. They live, their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Whenever we meet devotees, Krishna is telling that do Krishna Katha. That is pleasing to me also, and that will please you also. And if we perform bhakti, what will happen? तेषां शततयुक्तानां भजतां प्रीतिपूर्वकं ददामि बुद्धियोगं तं येन मामुपयन्ति ते. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. One can come to Krishna only when one develops Krishna Prem. And Krishna is telling, I will guide you to get Krishna Prem. That is what we get if we perform devotional service. But Krishna, as Krishna is sitting in our heart as Paramatma, so Krishna will guide you to get Krishna Prem. But there is terms and conditions applied to those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love. You do Avidya, you do Bhakti, then you will get, then Krishna will guide you towards Krishna Prem, towards Prayojan. 11th verse also speaks about Prayojan Tattvan. तेषम् एवानुकम्पर्थम् अहं मज्ञानजं तमा नाशयम्यत्मभावस्थो ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता. Though to show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts as Paramatma, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. So Krishna gives us knowledge from inside the heart and guides us towards getting Krishna Prem. So now these seed verses are spoken. Krishna has clarified about his position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now Arjuna is admitting that yes, I admit you, Krishna, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Arjuna uvacha param brahma param dhama pavitram paramam bhavan purusham shashvatam divyam adi devamajam vibhom ahustam rishaya sarve devarshe naradastatha ashito devalo vyasa swayam chaiva pravishi me. Arjuna said, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sages such as Narada, Ashita, Devala, and Vyasa confirm this truth about you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me. So Arjuna is now convinced about the supremacy of Krishna, and Arjuna is telling, not only me, all the great sages have told that you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Narada, Ashita, Devala, Vyasa have confirmed about your supremacy. And now you yourself are declaring it to me. In 10.8 you have declared, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. So there is no doubt in my mind anymore that you are the Supreme Lord. Sarvam etadritam manye janmam vedasi keshava nahite bhagavan vyaktim vidurdevanadhanava. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality. Till now, you have observed that Krishna is trying to say something and Arjuna has doubts. In 3rd chapter, 5th chapter, Arjuna has doubt. So, Krishna is trying to tell something, Arjuna understands something else. Krishna is trying to tell that, oh Arjuna, you do your karma, but you do that as an offering to me, and in that way you will be freed from the reactions of work. And Arjuna is thinking, oh, let me give up the work only. So Krishna is trying to tell renunciation in work. You work with renunciation. But Arjuna is understanding renunciation of work. I will renounce the work itself. So there is some differences between understanding of Krishna and Arjuna till now, and Arjuna has asked several doubts and Krishna clarified. Now at this point they are perfectly aligned, and Arjuna does not have any more doubts. Arjuna is fully convinced about each and every word of Krishna. I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. So Arjuna personally is free from all doubts. But we will see in the next chapter, Arjuna will ask uh, Krishna to manifest the universal form. Arjuna's doubt is clear that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. But Arjuna will ask Krishna to manifest the universal form to establish the fact to others that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so that nobody in Kali Yuga can imitate and declare himself to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this Vishwarup, or this universal form which Arjuna will ask Krishna to manifest, that is for establishing Krishna's supremacy in front of others. Arjuna does not have any doubt anymore after this point. So now Arjuna is telling, Swayam evatmananam veta tam purushottama bhuta bhava na bhutesha deva deva jagatpate. Indeed, you alone know yourself by your own internal potency, O Supreme Person, origin of all, Lord of all beings, God of gods, Lord of the universe. So nobody can know you, you only know yourself by your internal potency. Bhaktum arhashi asheshena divya hi atma vibhutaya yabir vibhuti virlokam imam stam vyapatishthati. Please tell me in detail of your divine opulences by which you pervade all these worlds. So Arjuna is telling Krishna, you only know about yourself. Nobody can know you. So therefore, please, you only explain about your glories. I want to hear your glories more. Now I have known that you have the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Uh, now I want to just hear your glories. There is no more doubts. Katham vidyam aham yogims tam sada parichintayan keshu keshu cha bhaveshu chintoshi bhagavan maya. O Krishna, the Supreme Mystic, how shall I constantly think of you, and how shall I know you? In what various forms are you to be remembered, O Supreme Personality of Godhead? So here Arjuna is telling Krishna that in this material world, what are the different representatives of you? What are the different appearances of you? How can I remember you? Vistare natmano yogam vibhutim cha janardana bhuya kathaya triptirhi shinvato nasti memritam. O Janardhan, again please describe in detail the mystic power of your appearances. I am never satiated in hearing about you, for the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words. This is the nature of Krishna Katha. More we hear, more the desire to hear increases. So now from this verse onwards till the last of this chapter, Krishna will explain his different appearances or vibhutis. Shri Bhagavan हन्तते कथयिष्यामि दिव्या ह्यत्मा विभूतया प्रधानानायता प्रधानन्त्या कुरु सृष्टा नस्ति अन्तो विस्तरस्य मे. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, yes, I will tell you of my splendorous manifestations, but only of those which are prominent. O Arjuna, for my opulence is limitless. So Krishna is telling my opulences are limitless. There is no end to my opulences, so I cannot describe everything. But I will describe the prominent vibhutis. Ahamatma gudakesha sarvabhuta shayasthita aham adischa madhyamscha bhutanam anta evacha. I am the super soul, O Arjuna, seated in the hearts of all living entities. I am the beginning, the middle and the end of all beings. So in the beginning also everything is manifested from the body of Mahavishnu. In middle also Krishna is pervading the whole universe as Kiradakushai Vishnu as Paramatma. And after annihilation also everything goes back into the body of Mahavishnu. So Adi, Anta, Madhya, Krishna is only there. Krishna is there as super soul. So these are the different vibhutis. Adityanam aham Vishnur Jyotisham Raviram Shaman मरीचिर्मरुतम् अस्मि नक्षत्राणम् अहं शशि. Of the Adityas I am Vishnu. Of lights I am the radiant sun. Of the Maruts I am Marichi. And among the stars I am the moon. So Krishna is telling who are different representatives of Krishna. Vedanam sama vedosmi devanam asmi vasava indriyanam manaschasmi bhutanam asmi chetana. Of the Vedas I am Samaveda, of the demigods I am Indra, the king of heaven. Of the senses I am the mind, and in living beings I am the living force or consciousness. Now Krishna will describe many of his glories up to the end of the chapter, verse number 42. So now there is something which we need to keep in mind while going through these opulences of Krishna so that we get the correct understanding. So Krishna is telling, I am Indra out of the demigods. Among the demigods, I am Indra. So what does that mean? Does that mean that we can print, we can make some deity of Indra or print some picture and we keep it in our altar and we start worshipping Indra also? Because Krishna has spoken that I am Indra among demigods. So what does that mean actually? Actually, Krishna is telling that Indra is my representative among the demigods. Among everything, in, in each category, whatever best you see, that is my representative. That has become the best by my desire, by my energy. Like here you can see, Krishna is telling that sun is among all the different luminaries. I am sun. So that means sun is the representative of Krishna. Just Chakshuresha Savita Sakala Grahanam Raja Samasta Suramurti Rasesha Teja. And sun has that immense potency, and from where sun has got that potency? From Krishna only. That is the essence. So whenever we see the sun, we remember Krishna, because the sun is so much effulgent, so much powerful, and he has got the power from Krishna. He is representative of Krishna. Indra is the king of heaven. He has become the king of heaven by energy of Krishna, by desire of Krishna, by mercy of Krishna. So this is the essence. Indra equal to Krishna. This is not the essence of these vibhutis. Indra is the representative of Krishna. Indra has become Indra by the mercy of Krishna. And whenever we hear about Indra, we should remember Krishna. So this is the purpose of these opulences. So you should keep in mind. They are not equal to Krishna. They are representatives of Krishna. They are the manifestation of Krishna's energies. And we are meant to remember Krishna by seeing them, by hearing about them. Rudranam Shankaraschasmi Vittesho Jaksharaksasam Vasunam Pavakaschasmi Mero Shikharinam Aham. Of all the Rudras, I am Lord Shiva. Of the Yaksas and Rakshasas, I am the Lord of Wealth, Kubera. Of all the Vasus, I am Fire. And of the mountains, I am Meru. पुरोधासंश्च मुख्यं मां विद्धि पार्थ विहस्पतिं सेनानिनम् अहं स्कंध सरसम् अस्मि सागर. Of priests, O Arjuna, know me to be the chief Brihaspati. Of generals, I am Kartikeya. And of bodies of water, I am the ocean. Maharsinam Bhigoraham Giram Asmikam Aksharam Yajnanam Yapayogyasmi Stavaranam Himalaya. Of the great sages, I am Bhrigu. Of vibrations, I am the transcendental Om. Of the sacrifices, I am chanting of the holy names, or that is called chanting or japa. And of the immovable things, I am the Himalayas. So here important thing is Jagyanam Japayogyasmi. So Yagya means something you do for the pleasure of Vishnu or Krishna. That is called Yagya. And Krishna is most pleased by what? That is Krishna explaining here that what is best Yagya among all the Yagyas? Japa Yagya. Chanting of the holy names. That is the best kind of sacrifice, or that is the best activity you can do for pleasing Krishna. Ashwatya Sarva Bhikshanam Devarsinam Chanarada Gandharvanam Chitraratha Siddhanam Kapilo Muni. Of all trees I am the banyan tree, and of all sages among the demigods I am Narada. Of all the Gandharvas I am Chitrarath, and among perfected beings I am the sage Kapila. Uchchaishavam Ashvanam Uchchaishavasham Ashvanam Viddhimam Amritodbhavam Airavatam Gajendranam Naranam cha Naradipam. Of horses know me to be Uchchaishava, produced during the churning of the ocean for nectar. Of lordly elephants I am Airavat, and among men I am the monarch or the king. King is representative of Krishna. Ayudhanam aham vajram dhenunam ashmika madhuk prajanans chashmi kandarpa sarpanam ashmi vasuki. Of weapons I am thunderbolt, among cows I am Surabhi, of causes for procreation I am Kandarpa, the god of love, and of serpents I am Vasuki. There is an important statement here. Yeah. Kandarpa is a representative of Krishna. Sometimes sex is engaged in only for sense gratification. Such sex does not represent Krishna. But sex for generation of good children is called Kandarpa and represents Krishna. This is also explained in 7.11 maybe. Yes. बलं बलवतं चाहं कामरागविवर्जितं धर्माविरुद्धभूतेषु कामस्मि भरतर्षभ. I am the strength of the strong, devoid of passion and desire. I am the sixth life, which is not contrary to religious principles. That means, which is not only for sense gratification, which is for producing good children. Good means Krishna conscious children. Anantaschasmi naganam varuno yadasham aham pitrenam aryamachasmi yama samyamatam chaham. Of the many hooded Nagas I am Ananta, and among the aquatics I am demigod Varuna. Of departed ancestors I am Aryama, and among the dispensers of law I am Yama, the lord of death. Prahladaschasmi daityanam kala kalayatamaham mriganam cha mrigendraham vainateyascha pakshinam. Among the Daitya demons I am the devoted Prahlada. Among subduers I am time. Among the beasts I am lion, and among birds I am Garuda. Pavanabhavatam Ashmi Rama Shastavitam Aham Jashanam Makaraschasmi Shrotasam Asmi Janyavi. Of purifiers I am wind, of the wilderers of weapons I am Rama, of fishes I am the shark, and of flowing rivers I am Ganges. Sarganam Adirantascha Madhyam Chaivahamarjuna Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam Vada Pravatatamaham. Of all creations I am beginning and the end and also the middle, O Arjuna. Of all sciences I am spiritual science of the self. Of all sciences, best science is spiritual science, and it is representative of Krishna. And among logicians I am the conclusive truth. Logicians argue, they give arguments, counter arguments, and ultimately the fruit of the debate is some conclusion. So Krishna is that conclusion. Means that conclusion is representative of Krishna. Aksharanam akarusmi dvandva shamashikasya cha aham eva kshaya kalo dhata ham vishwato mukha. Of letters I am the letter A, or in Sanskrit A. And among compound words I am the dual compound. I am also inexhaustible time. And of creators I am Brahma. Means Brahma is my representative. Mrityu sarvaharaschaham udbhavascha bhavishyatam kriti shirvakcha narinam smritir meda didikshama. I am all devouring death. I am the generating principle of all that yet to be. Among women I am fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience. So all these qualities are everything has a personified form in spiritual world. So all these qualities also represent some person in the spiritual world, and this that person is feminine, female. So these are feminine qualities. That means the personality which is associated to these qualities is a female. So therefore Krishna is telling among women, among so these qualities are representatives of Krishna among all the feminine qualities. Feminine qualities does not mean that these only are present in women's, right? The quality itself, the personification of that quality is represented by some women. Brihat Shama Tatha Shamnam Gai. Any doubt?
I read out in the last verse,
Yeah.
10.30.
Yes, tell me.
10.34. So you told us that all of the qualities that mention like fame and other qualities they are have personified form in the spiritual planet as in woman, right?
Hmm.
So does that mean
Yeah, does that mean you are not audible, bro? Okay, we can take this question at the end. Maybe you can type this question. Okay, we will discuss. There are few more verses remaining. Let me continue.
this
Okay, maybe the network is poor, so we are continuing. And you just type the question. I will answer at the end. Okay. बृहत्सामा तथा साम्नं गायत्री छन्दसम् अहं मासानं मर्गशीर्षोऽहं ऋतूनां कुसुमाकर. Of the hymns in the Samaveda, I am the Brihat Sama, and of poetry I am Gayatri. Of months I am Margashirsha, November, December, and of seasons I am flower bearing spring. द्यूतं चलयतामस्मि तेजस्तेजस्विनामहं जयोस्मि व्यावसायोस्मि स्वत्वं सत्यवतामहम्. I am also the gambling of cheats, and of the splendid I am the splendor. I am victory, I am adventure, I am the strength of the strong. So again this may be a little bit difficult to digest. How Krishna is gambling of all cheats. We know in ISKCON we follow four regulative principles. Gambling is one of the no gambling is one of the regulative principles which we have to follow. So this is sinful activity, gambling. How that is representative of Krishna? So the point is that this is not about what is sinful and what is not sinful. The point is the process of gambling can destroy a person. So it has some power to destroy. Gambling has tremendous power to destroy. So from where this activity of gambling is getting that destructive power? The source of all power, constructive, destructive, all power, source of all power is Krishna. Like Brahma is creating, that is also by the inspiration and power of Krishna. Shiva is destroying, that is also by the power of Krishna. And this gambling destroys a person. This is not bad actually. One who is indulging in gambling, he must be punished. And therefore, the destructive power of Krishna is punishing that person by destroying him, by taking away all the wealth of that person. So, whatever powers, constructive or destructive, everything has origin in Krishna. That is the essence. So, that is being conveyed here. वृष्टीनां वासुदेवस्मि पाण्डवानां धनञ्जय मुनीनाम् अप्यहं व्यास कवीनां भूषणा कवि. Of the descendants of Vrishni, I am Vasudeva or Krishna, and of the Pandavas, I am Arjuna. Of the sages, I am Vyasa. Among the great thinkers, I am Ushana. Ushana means this Shukracharya. दण्डो दमयतामस्मि नीतिरस्मि जिगीषतं मौनं चैवस्मि गुह्यानं ज्ञानं ज्ञानवतामहम्. Among all means of suppressing lawlessness, I am punishment, and of those who seek victory, I am morality, of secret things I am silence, and of the wise I am wisdom. यच्चापि सर्वभूतानां बीजं तद् अहमर्जुन न तद् अस्ति विना यत्सन् मया भूतं चराचरम्. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me. Everything is existing due to my energy. नन्तोऽस्ति मम दिव्यानां विभूतीनां परन्तप एषा तुद्देशतः प्रोक्त विभूतिर्विस्तरो मया. O mighty conqueror of enemies, O Arjuna, there is no end to my divine manifestations. What I have spoken to you is but a mere indication of my infinite opulences. So I have very briefly only enumerated some of my opulences. Yad yad vibhuti mad sattvam Srimad Urjitam eva cha tat tat eva avagachatvam mama tejam shambhavam. So this actually explains our mood which we should imbibe while we are reading these opulences. Know that all opulent, beautiful, glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. So whatever opulent, whatever beautiful, whatever glorious things we are seeing, we must understand this is being possible only by the energy of Krishna. And thus we are meant to remember Krishna. अथ बाबहुनैतेन किं ज्ञातेन तव अर्जुन विष्टाव्याहम् idam krishnam ekam sena sthito jagat. But what is need there? What need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. So, Krishna explained some of the vibhutis, and that is not also complete. And if we take the complete also, that is only a fragmental vibhuti or fragmental opulence of Krishna. With a fragment of his opulences, Krishna is maintaining all these material worlds. So Krishna is telling that what is the use of all this knowledge? This will never be sufficient. Okay, just by one of the fragmental parts I pervade in all these material universes, I maintain everything. So I am present in full before you. You just surrender unto me. That's all. And all these different opulences, they are unlimited. You cannot complete them. Okay. So Krishna is telling that whatever I have spoke, all these opulences, they are just tiny fragment, and they are just like 0.000000001% of my opulences. So actually, whatever small number I tell you, that is also not sufficient. So whatever Krishna has told, that is actually limit x tends to 0, x. It is tends to 0. And Krishna's opulences are infinitely more. If you multiply this by infinite, then that is the opulence of Krishna. So it is inconceivable. So therefore Krishna is telling this. Okay, so Krishna wanted Arjuna to know about some of his opulences. That is done. Now in the next chapter, Arjuna will ask about manifestation of this universal form for others to believe about the supremacy of Krishna. So we will see that in the next chapter. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Bhagavad Gita as it is ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.